so like I had your bio up here since you sent it to me last week, and then last night I decided to let's see, coaching staff. I decided to go and just start checking out the different links and stuff, and I started looking at all the facilities.
Yeah.
Golly, it's getting beautiful up there.
When did you graduate?
I graduated in 13.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, things.
I was on the 6-year college plan. I graduated in 07, but I graduated from North Georgia in 13 because I spent 3.5 years down at Oakwood University.
Okay.
University of North
Gainesville.
Yeah, yeah,
Gainesville. I got you.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot's changed on this campus just in that, those 6 or 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
All our facilities, especially the Convocation Center. Have you
Right.
been in there?
No, I want to so bad.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's worth the wait. Had to wait a long time.
I went, like I said, I went on the website last night and just started playing around, and I knew the floor had looked good, but I didn't know it looked that good.
Yeah.
I mean, that floor is amazing. That darker wood, almost kind of gray look to it that they put that finish on there. Oh my goodness, that looks so awesome.
Tough. Yeah, and the NG in the middle, I love it. Yeah.
And see, when I graduated, it was that semester that they transitioned over from NGCSU to UNG. So if we wanted NGC, this is where I don't agree with this. NGCSU, if we wanted that on our diploma, we had to pay $35 for a separate diploma.
God.
I was like,
I didn't know that.
Whatever. And so I just said, screw it. And it's been sitting in my back closet ever since. I was like, I graduated from NGCSU. I didn't graduate from the University of North Georgia Nighthawks. I'm a Saint.
Yeah, I know. You're a Saint. Me too. I'm still a Saint. I'm still a Lady Saint. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
I like to give people my 2 cents worth about that. Not that anybody cares, but I'm like, why a Nighthawk? Like, of all things, it's a little bird that eats seeds and little worms.
That's a sore subject.
Yeah.
That it had to be changed at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
didn't make sense.
No, not when you've been the same mascot for. Well, what year was the college founded?
I don't even know, but yeah, we've been the Saints. We were the Cadets.
Were we?
In the 70s, I think the Saints came in. St. Bernard came in the early 70s.
Yeah.
I think maybe before that. But I know they were the Cadets before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like at Gainesville College, when they were the Lakers originally when it was the junior college, and then when they moved from a junior college to just a community college, they transferred their mascot to the Fighting Geese, and the Fighting Goose's name was Laker. So they at least kept the Lakers theme in there. And so, we didn't have any sports, but it was funny. Somebody would walk around in a goose mascot like every Friday, and it was a mean looking goose mascot. It was pretty full. It was pretty funny because he had these mean looking eyes and he had a big old set of teeth on him, and all this other stuff.
Where did he go? He just walked around? He didn't have any
events? It was just somebody who was in, working one of the student activity centers jobs or something, and they just put on the mascot and just start walking around like every Friday and just wave at people. Whenever there's a function on campus or something, he'd walk around and just do what mascot.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had to change their nickname. Now they're the Nighthawks. Everybody's Nighthawks.
Yeah, every single one of them's Nighthawks. There's no longer any goose anywhere on the campus except the live ones.
Never knew that.
So where did you grew up? It said down here you grew up you're born in St. Louis, raised in Alpharetta, and then you went to the University of Montevallo.
Yeah.
Where is, I don't even know where that is.
It's right in the center of Alabama. I mean, there's literally a star in front of one of the dormitories that shows it's the center of Alabama. So it's near.
It's like our Macon.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes from Birmingham, hour from Montgomery. So it's right in between.
I got you.
Yeah.
Did you play basketball there, I'm assuming?
I did. Yeah, that's the only reason I went there. It was a cool little school, but it was the only, I had never heard of it before I got recruited there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, so I that's the only reason I went there, and I ended up coaching there 2 years as a grad assistant after that. So I'm a huge Auburn fan, so I was able to go to still be close enough to Auburn. My brother went, and my whole family went there. My dad played football there, so I was able to still get over there. I still have family over there and go to games and stuff, and play basketball and go to school at Montevallo. It was close.
Oh, Lord. So your whole family went to Auburn. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, everybody but me, from starting on my mom's side. My granddad played basketball there. All my aunts and uncles and cousins on my mom's side, my brother, my mom and dad met there. So everybody.
Oh my goodness.
I wanted to go there, but I wanted to play, and
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get to play at Auburn. So, yeah. So I took a different route.
I kept crossing my fingers that something was going to happen before I graduated from North Georgia, and they were going to start a football program, and I was going to be able to use up my last year of eligibility or something, you know.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
No. Bryson and I talked about that when I had him on. We talked about it after we stopped recording. I said, you know, what is it going to take for is Benita Jacobs still the president?
Yes.
Yeah, I said, what's it going to take for Dr. Jacobs to get a football program? He said, it's not going to happen.
Not happening.
I'm like, man.
Not anytime soon.
Like, you would have the amount of people that go to basketball games and go to baseball games and soccer games and softball. You'd make a killing off of, you know, you'd make your money back in 3 or 4 years in ticket sales and revenue from a football game or a football season.
Yeah, it was hard enough to find a place to build a convocation center. I don't know where they would even begin.
Yeah, well, like in Lumpkin County, only one side, their football stadium. Yeah, see, that's not going to help. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't think that's happened.
Yeah, I know. And I asked him, I said, well, hey, what about if I came up there and I, became the head track coach and I started a track program, like a real track program? He said, they want their own facilities, so that's probably not going to happen either because they'd have to build a track. They don't want to use Lumpkins. I said, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're staying put right now with the sport, especially with what's going on with the pandemic.
Oh, gosh,
I think we're holding tight right now, holding steady. Yeah. Our soccer coaches were up here today, and they're doing voluntary workouts in the weight room right now, but they can't get on the field yet. Yeah. They're nervous. Everybody's nervous right now.
Yeah. How where were y'all in terms of your season when all that started?
Well, we were in Lander at Lander University. We had practiced and were in the hotel room watching film. Had just let everybody go and got the phone call that we were first round of our NCAA tournament, our regional tournament, and we were about to play the next day at 12 o'clock and got the call that night. And had to call the team back into the hotel room and tell them the news. That was the weirdest bus ride home I think I've ever had. Yeah. Just such unknown. So we got back to Dahlonega that night, and I have not seen our team since, except virtually. So that was the last time. So we were right there in the thick of things, ready to play the regional tournament, and I had practice and everything and got the call. So that was tough.
What about your seniors? How did they react?
We didn't have any, which
was thank goodness.
That was a blessing in disguise. Yeah. We didn't have any. We had a strong junior class, so that was good. But it was our third straight year that we made it to the regional. Had a great seed. We were the second seed, and just really excited to see what that team. Coming off the Elite Eight last year, we were real excited to see what that team could do. So it was really disappointing to have had that happen. And I know we obviously weren't alone. There was a bunch of people that were affected, but it was really sad. It took a while. I don't know that we're over it yet, but it definitely took a while to let it sink in, and it was hard for the players.
Yeah, we were getting ready to have one of the big track and field meets that weekend. It was a Friday, Saturday, 2-day type thing. And we practiced on Thursday, knew that it might be coming. We had some suspicions that the other head coach, he and our co-head coaches, but he controls the distance program side of things. And he said, "When we're going to get shut down this weekend." And I was like, no, we're not. You're overreacting. And then, so our school system said at the time, they said, look, if you got something this weekend, if the school system hosting it says it's okay, then it's okay. It's at the discretion of the school system. And then Thursday night, about 6:00, they said, starting Friday at 3, all activities will be suspended. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This was one of the biggest relay meets of the year. And, and then we kept waiting, and kids kept training, kids kept running, kids kept working out. We were hoping we were going to get past this thing in 2 weeks. And then, 3 months later, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah. I think everyone has a story like that, similar to both of ours. It's just so sad. Yeah. So sad.
Luckily, my senior jumper did tie the school record in the men's high jump. So he was able to sign on to Kennesaw.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. So he's excited about that.
Yeah. That's exciting. It's good.
So your first season in Dahlonega was
1994. 1994.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where had you come from before that?
Yeah, well, I told you I was a grad assistant where I played at University of Montevallo for 2 years. And then I was an assistant coach at Shorter University now under Vic Mitchell, who's just a great friend, great coach, for 3 years. And then I interviewed here at University, it was NGC at the time, Georgia College. And I interviewed at St. Leo University all within a week's time. So I didn't know which direction my life was going to go in, but when I got the call from the president of North Georgia, my life changed forever. I mean, it was just amazing. I had the interview on a Thursday. He called me Friday morning, and I accepted the job without even discussing it with anybody. Vic, who I was working for at the time, was shocked that I went in his office to tell him I took the job, and he was like, "Wait, you already took it? Did you even talk to anybody?" I'm like, "I took it. I know
took that job, dadgummit."
Yeah, I took it. I didn't even hesitate. I was 25 years old. The job paid $31,000. I'm not ashamed to say what the job was. And I taught 8 classes on a quarter system. I coached softball. I coached basketball. I taught swimming and lifeguarding. I think I taught everything, and on top of what all I wanted to do was coach basketball. So there was just so many. Yeah. So I was 25 at the time and didn't even hesitate. I just knew I wanted to coach. So that's where it all kind of started when I got the job that young. So I came from University of Montevallo and Shorter University to here.
That's where I spent a whole whopping semester, was at Shorter.
Did you?
Yeah, that's where I signed a preferred walk-on to go kick and punt, and then ended up having to come home at Christmas because, of course, I wasn't getting any scholarship money as a kicker.
Yeah.
Of course not. But,
yeah.
It's a great spot. And, a guy that I played with there, Zach Morrison, he's the head coach now, and he's helping turn that thing back around to the way it should have been.
That's good. Yeah. I was wondering for a few years there, it seemed like they weren't doing very well. So that's good to hear.
I think they went like 21, 25 straight, something like that, without a win.
Wow.
In football. Yeah, it's insane.
They didn't have football when I was there. Yeah. So that was good to see that they got it.
Yeah, it's great because, you have that field downtown that they get to play on, and it, Rome's a big town, but it's not a huge town.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives everybody something to do, 5 or 6 Saturdays in the fall.
Yeah, there's a little gym right behind that stadium, and we had to play in that while the new gym at Shorter was getting built when I was there. So we had to take the ball, the flag, we had to take everything there before we played basketball games there. They had a tile floor. It was hard to recruit that first year, knowing that that's where we played. But then they got the new gym and kind of turned things around. Yeah, it was hard.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you ever been in there? Did you even know it was? It may not even be there now.
I've seen it from afar. I think now it's like I think somebody uses it as like a training facility, and it's like turned into batting cages or something. That's what it was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess it's still there. I'm not sure. I know they just did a lot of renovations to the stadium. They put down a new set of turf. They replaced the old turf. So I don't know. I don't know what else they did around there, but I know that they put down new turf. It says you have 21 winning seasons, including her last 7 consecutive years. Does that make it 8? Would this last one make it 8? Does that be the updated bio?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And guided the program to, says 12. That would be 13 national tournament appearances, including 4 NCAAs. And your furthest run in the Division II tournament coming the first ever Elite Eight, and that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, what really made that team as great as it was last year?
That was obviously a special team, and we had won the year before. We had won the tournament championship and the regular season championship, and made it all the way to the championship game in the Southeast Regional. So we were real close to making it to the Elite Eight that year, but we got beat in a really close game at Carson-Newman University. So that team was hungry coming into that season, and we had 3 really good seniors that had tasted that last, the season before that loss, and some really good returning young kids that were just really hungry. But they had their mindset all year long. We didn't know how that was, how that was going to go. We had lost 2 really good post players from the season before.
Right.
And then, so we made some changes with how we play. We played a little bit smaller. We had Julianne Sutton, who's from Flowery Branch, and Abby Franklin, who's from Jefferson, that were freshmen the year before, and they were sophomores at the time coming back on that team. And they were just phenomenal players and meshed really well with that senior class. Amber Skidgel, who's our graduate assistant right now, and Tamara Thorpe and Vanessa Agrusa, who were transfers from USC Upstate, just all meshed, really well. And so when we got to the NCAA regional, we had a lot of experience, and I think that experience goes so far. And we ran through Manual the first game, and the second game with Wingate. They're both tough opponents, and then we met Lander again, who's these past 3 or 4 years become just a big rival for us. And we played them in the championship game at Anderson University. And that was, that was when I'm so grateful to coach in North Georgia, because 2 hours away, we had the whole gym packed out with our people. And so being at Anderson, so it was really cool. They brought the pep band and cheerleaders and, all sports, and our president, of course, our athletic director, and the whole staff and everything. It was really cool to have our families there and everything to cut down those nets and go to the first Elite Eight. It was special. It was a really special team.
So, it was definitely like a home field advantage for you guys then. And I'm sure the girls fed off of that.
Yeah, it was. At the same time, I think Greenwood, South Carolina was probably 30, 40 minutes away from there. So they were blue also. So they had their little section as well. But I was really proud of North Georgia people. They came out and supported, and it did feel like a home court advantage.
Yeah. So you cut the nets down that year. And then it says you recorded your 500th career victory in December of 2018 over Flagler in the Convocation Center.
Mm-hmm.
And now, was that the
that was that team.
Say again?
That was that team.
Okay.
That Elite 18. Yeah, sure was.
And was that the first year in the Convocation Center that you got that 500th win, or was it already a year?
Our 17, 18, that was our first year. Yeah, we had played 17, 18. We had played 1 game. Mm-hmm. That was our last game of the year in the Convocation Center. We were going to get in there no matter what. We played that. They made it happen. So we played that 1 game, homecoming, end of February, and we played the tournament. So we won the tournament. So we played 4 games that year, and then we played that whole first year. So yeah, that was it. And then this past year was our second.
So I'm sure that was pretty special for you to, number 1, get your 500th victory, but number 2. Yeah. Also get it in your first full season of one of the nicest gyms, probably in Division II, but also in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, it meant a lot. And I played at Memorial Hall all these years and coached, and it's a special place. But at the same time, being in, like you said, it's just the Convocation Center is gorgeous. It's easy to recruit to. We could not wait to get in there. And the fact that, the 500th win is always special for a coach. So that was neat. And even more special. We were down that whole game. Like, and I don't think our team, I didn't know if anybody, I didn't even know about my 500. Didn't know. I knew I was close, but didn't really know if that particular game was it. And, we were down the whole time. And then when we came back somehow it was literally probably the last 3.5 minutes where we actually came back and got that win. And at the very end, our sports information people were very gracious and had something planned that was really neat to celebrate it. So it was special night.
How many conference championships have you gotten since your time at North Georgia?
It's 10 or 11. I'm not. It's around that. It's over.
Oh wow!
It's 10 or 11. Yeah, and
you kind of make the rules, and you just get to tell everybody what to do around that campus now, right?
No, because I'm gonna tell you what. We got some winners on this campus.
Yeah.
There's some pretty big coaching names and programs here. It's a great place to coach, which is great because there's high expectations for all of our programs. So yeah.
I remember I went to the North Georgia basketball camp when I was younger, but I swear it was not in Memorial Hall. Is there a gym on the backside of like the townhomes apartments or something?
There's the rec center, which was probably around.
Maybe that's what it was.
It was probably new right around the time you were here. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had like three courts. They probably had.
Yeah, this was like 98, 99, somewhere around there.
No, I don't think I think you might have been in Memorial at that time. We don't have another gym.
It doesn't. The memories I have were not in Memorial because Memorial to me always seems kind of dark.
Yeah,
like Cameron Indoor. Yeah. That just everything past like the first 5 rows. Even though there's not like a ton of rows in Memorial, but everything up top is really dark. That's just in my mind how I always see Memorial, but. You remember The Rock, the basketball, The Rock that was like famous in the 90s? Yeah. I can't remember if
that was the camp
Spalding.
Ball.
Who made it?
That was the camp ball, wasn't it? The Rock?
Yeah.
We had The Rock.
I had that thing forever. had the black hands on it that were for right-handed people and the white hands on it for left-handed people. Man,
we gave those out for many years.
Oh, dude, I love that ball.
Yeah.
That ball is awesome. It's probably in the trash, in a dump in a trash pile somewhere now, but oh my goodness, that ball, before my parents built their deck, our back patio had my goal back there with concreted in the ground, and I would just shoot from all over the place, and I would just I rubbed the ball so much on those hand placement parts that the rest of the ball still had the little the rough knurling part of the ball, and that part was smooth from so many times of my hands shooting it. And then I ended up not even playing basketball until my senior year of high school. I just
really?
Be on the team, yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, I played freshman year on the 9th grade team, and then didn't play my sophomore or junior year, and then just decided to go out my senior year.
So your sport, football and track?
I actually played 5 when I was in high school, lettered in 5.
Wow.
I kind of just bounced around from sophomore to junior year, or sophomore to senior year. So, junior year I played football, track, and baseball. I ran the bases. And then senior year, I played football, basketball, and then changed to soccer. I decided to play soccer that year just to give me something new to do because I knew that I had gotten 4 letters, and I said, what can I do? And there was a girl that I had grown up with that was a couple years older than me. She said, well, I have 5 letters. You can go tie that school record. I said, okay. It was fun. It was fun, but I think I went to 1 or 2 games while I was up there as a student. Dog week. Is it dog week or dog? What was it I said?
It's dog week. You're right.
Dog week. So where'd you come up with the idea for dog week?
I'll tell you what. Okay, so we were a quarter system, like I told you. So we didn't, when I first started coaching here, so we didn't start school till like mid-September, and a lot of our teams we were playing were already starting in August, and you could start basketball right when you started classes. So I felt like we were getting behind at the time. And so my 3rd year, I think it was my 3rd year, I decided we were going to do something called Dog Week. Obviously, I had to think about the name and everything because there was a Frog Week here. with the cadets and everything. So I came up with Dog Week. Was at the time, it stood for Dedicated Athletes with Guts, and probably none of our players even know what that stands for. But at the time, that's what it stood for. And so I could bring our players back early, like a week early, and it was just, at the time, it was basketball, strength training, conditioning, this stuff that, just to get you ready for the season. And that's what we did then. But then we went to semesters and things changed a little bit. But the year 2000, I think it was around 99, 2000, a good friend of mine who worked in the military department, Colonel Billy Shaw, who passed away a year ago. He's like one of my best friends in the whole world, one of the greatest Americans in the whole world. Came to me at the time and was like, hey, I know you do this Dog Week thing. And he was Special Forces. And he was like, just hear me out. We have these events that we did when we were training for Special Forces. And he said, I've done it with some of the cadets here, and I want to see what you think as far as implementing them with your Dog Week. And so I was like, all right. So I listened to him, and I was like, this sounds crazy, but we're going to try it. And from that point on, from that year, 99, 2000, we have just done the events. We haven't had basketball, strength training, or anything like that. And, of course, NCAA rules don't really let us do the basketball part of it anyway.
Right.
So we actually Billy was helping us at the time, and now Colonel Mike Ivey, that works in the admissions office here, cadet admissions here, he's the director, helps us. He's helped us for the past 11 or 12 years. But we take our team and we take 4 days in September, and we put them through these, we call them beast events, and they are the Special Forces things, exercises, watered down. We use the heavy water cans and telephone poles and sandbags and things like that. I'll just give you an example of an event that we do that might, because it's really hard to explain. But we take our team to Currahee Mountain, which is where Band of Brothers, was filmed and everything. They did 3 miles up and 3 miles down when they were training there. So we do that with our team. And this is something we've done for probably the past 11, 12 years. But we're having them work on leadership during this time. They're carrying all the different loads and things like that up the mountain. With all the stuff, changing leaders, changing who can speak, changing the loads and things like that as we go up the mountain. And then we let them, look at the view and take pictures, and then they jog the 3 miles back down.
Right.
There has been times where we've rappelled down the side of the mountain, obviously building, trust and conquering fears. Not all the way down. Not all the way down the mountain. Obviously, there is a section over there that you can rappel down. So we've surprised our team with that before. So we just do. That's just a small example, but we'll do 3 of those a day for the 4-day period, and it just teaches. There's just such a huge leadership initiative there, finding out who our leaders are, finding out our team's strengths and weaknesses. Just a great. I can't think of a better just team building thing that we do. We put them through adversity. Anytime you put them through adversity, that they're going to come together, and that's it's always a direct correlation with how our teams do too. We haven't had too many Dog Weeks that have gone that haven't been good, and usually that team that does really well in Dog Week does really well in court. So it's hard to explain, but it's a very, very, very important part of North Georgia. And it's kind of funny because our recruits already know about it before they come on campus. So they'll actually bring it up to me. I like our players to talk to them about it, but usually they're like, I've already heard about Dog Week. I'm like, that's probably good, because I like having a hard time explaining it to you. It's hard to explain it to them, but it's a good test. If they hesitate when you talk about it, then they're probably not gonna have too much interest in us. But it's a great week for us.
What's your big, speaking of recruits, what's your biggest selling point to try to get them if they're going to North Georgia versus Young Harris? What would be the biggest selling point?
Yeah, well, that's obviously a really good program and pretty school. But we sell like everybody sells family, but we really try to live that. That's a big part of us. And the Convocation Center now, I mean, since it was being built, has just been a huge recruiting tool for us.
Yeah.
Our senior class now was the class that we were able to say, look, it's going up. So, and they have been able to play in it for almost 3 years, a little over 3 years in their career. So that's the biggest thing. But I get, and then when I tell all our recruits is just the people here, this is what's killing us right now is we can Zoom all we want with our recruits, which we're doing, but to get them in front of our players and just the people at North Georgia is just really just hurt. Like we can have on campus visits, but we can't go into buildings, and that just started. We can't go into buildings, and I can't bring them in my office right now, or even walk them through the convocation center. So it's tough right now. It's tough. We've been Zooming,
That's why I wondered how many I think. Yeah, this is what you and I were talking about the other day when we got on the other subject of that other coach. How did Tennessee land 14 4 and 5 stars in a 15-day period when everybody was on virtual stuff?
Yeah, what are they doing? I want to know what they're doing.
Yeah, if you can recruit virtually like that, then let people like UNG know.
Exactly. Yeah.
What year did we go from NAIA to D2?
It was 2005, 2006.
How was that transition? Was it hard to make, or was it easier?
Well, the first year was amazing. That we won the Peach Belt. That first year in the Peach Belt, first year in NCAA, we went 19-1 and won the regular season championship in the Peach Belt, which we had no idea going into that what it was going to be like. We didn't know if we were going to win a game, if we were going to be able to compete. We knew that we were coming off 3 straight conference championships in the NAIA. And so we knew we had a good group, really a good senior class and good all-around core coming back and everything. But we didn't know. So when we ran through the Peach Belt and went 19-1 and went 23-4 overall, we couldn't play postseason. And so that was really tough. We actually had to go to the tournament was being hosted at Lander University, and we had to drive our team to Lander the day of the first round of the tournament and have our team accept the trophy right before the first round game.
Why couldn't y'all participate?
Because we were transitioning from NAI so there was a 2-year period where we could not play postseason, and it was tough on that team because in that senior class especially because they had that was their 4th straight championship, and they were really destined. They had gone to the Elite 8 the year before in NAI. They were just a really good group, and so we couldn't compete in the tournament. So we went to Lander and picked up that trophy right before Georgia College and Clayton State were about to tip off. So that was a little awkward, but it just hurt. It hurt too because we weren't able to play, and so our season was over with. And,
it was awkward because y'all waxed everybody's butt all year, and then you got to say, "All right, guys, well, y'all have fun. We know that we're better than you, but y'all go out there."
Yeah. Well, and then it was tough for several years there. We had some rough few rough years in there because that class graduated, and it was just trying. The Peach Belt is so strong, just trying to fill our way through. So we had some rough years, and then we picked back up once we got able to play back in tournament. Tournament experience is so big, that. So being away from that, not being able to play, really hurt us. But a story about that, going that year, that 05-06 team. So we didn't know if we were going to be good, bad, or indifferent. We had no idea. Then we went on the road, our first Peach Belt road game to USC Aiken, and got down 18 at halftime. So I'm in the locker room at halftime just saying, obviously I'm not happy. The players still talk about what was said. And I don't even really know what was said. I just remember the feeling of like, if this is how it's going to be, this is awful. I mean, we're down 18 and like this. So anyway, we go back out and we end up winning the game by 12. I have no idea how it happened. I still don't know. I know that it's
just a blur now in your mind.
Is. I'll tell you what, we had a freshman named Sarita Marble have a breakout game. She wasn't starting at the time. She ended up, I don't know how many she scored in that game, but from that point on, from that game on, she ended up being freshman of the year, and she's now in the Hall of Fame. So that was kind of her breakout game. I don't know what it was that was inside of her, but something, lit a fire, and she wasn't going to let us lose. And, those kind of things happened all year. So it was that first year was very memorable.
And I hate that you couldn't go to
it was hard
postseason for that, but at least, it was a good year. It was filled with good memories and things like that. It definitely could have been the complete opposite. It could have been 1-19 and just like I want to wipe that season out of my memory bank.
Yeah, for sure.
But thank goodness it wasn't.
Right. Good memories.
Last couple of questions here, non-basketball related. Favorite place to eat in Dahlonega?
Ooh, Gosh, there's so many on the square.
I know.
I like Grapevine's really good. Good Italian food. Really
Yeah.
good. Have you been there?
Is that the one? Is that on
It's
the Connie
behind.
side or on the campus
Yeah,
side?
it's on the back side.
I
Yeah,
think.
it's back behind Spirits.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think.
Spirits is good too.
I think Spirits is where my wife and I went for our anniversary last year or 2 years ago, and I
It's
think
really good.
Grapevines is right next to it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because you walk in, right? You walk in on the first floor, and there's all those little shops on the sides,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then
Yes.
you go upstairs.
Mm-hmm. No, that's maybe the Bourbon Street Grill when you
That's
go up
where we
there.
went. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where it
that's
was.
good
Bourbon Street
too.
Grill.
Yeah, you can't go wrong any other places. It's such a cool little square, cool little camp, cool little town. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are all good places. Yeah.
Favorite place to go hike or go outdoors in Dahlonega?
Where I live, there's a river access right across, so that's usually I have my dogs. I usually go across there, and my parents live really close, and they have around 19, 20 acres that I go. They have a little pond.
All right,
You
I'm
can
coming
fish.
over tomorrow.
Yeah,
I've
you
been looking
can
for a pond. I've been literally scouring Google Earth for a pond. I'm coming to fish.
You might want to bring your weed eater, but you're more than welcome to do that. You more than welcome. So
Yeah.
I hang out there quite a bit, spend some time there.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 3. I have 2 Australian Shepherds, a red Merle and a blue Merle. They're both 10. And then I have a 2-year-old Catahoula leopard dog / Labrador. He's like half and half. So we got him 2 years ago. So he fits in real well. He keeps the other 2 young.
Where's you have a favorite place to go tubing or anything up there?
The Chesty River, like I live real close. I live across the
just
street
anywhere
from
to
that,
set
so,
in.
Yeah, just there's the access right there, right where I live. So
what's your most peaceful place up there where you like to just, if you could go somewhere and just sit in peace and silence?
Yeah, it's funny. It's even in back during the school year, I would just leave the office and walk around campus. But probably the best place now, there is we call it Dean Himes Terrace. It's on the back side of the Convocation Center, and it's just it's a deck, it's a porch out there, and you can go out there and it overlooks campus, and nobody is the students aren't out, nobody's out there. You can go out there and eat lunch, or I'll go out there and just make practice plans and especially when the sun's out in the fall or spring or whatever. So that's probably my favorite place. If I'm not walking around campus,
that's where I can find you.
If you want to find me, I'm on the Dean Himes Terrace.
Is that where you took that picture from that you put on Twitter yesterday or today?
No, I didn't take Jack Anthony took that. He's a phenomenal. Really? Yeah, he's a phenomenal photographer. But it's close to that. Yeah, it would be near that.
I've never been able to find that spot, where everybody goes up there and says, I love my little town, and they go up almost.
It's gotta be Crown Mountain.
That's what I was thinking. It's somewhere on the mountain, but I don't know where they would. I don't know where they go.
Yeah. It's got to be somewhere up around Crown Mountain. Which our team doesn't like Crown Mountain because we do a lot of dog week events that go up straight up
so
up
it's
and
like,
down.
Please, I don't want to live there.
Yeah,
I don't want to go up there.
I'm sure they bypass that. They don't ever go near there.
What's the lady's name that owns everything up there? Owns all the property?
Is it Roberta Green?
Yes.
Roberta, yeah.
She's still alive?
She's got a monopoly on things up here. Yes, for sure.
Everybody I never lived up there. I always commuted, just back and forth because I knew I was in my last 2 years. I didn't want to go spend rent money up there and all that. But, everybody either lived at what's that townhome or apartment complex, Green Acres?
I don't. There's some new ones now, the Heights and Bellamy, and there's a bunch of new ones now.
They either did that or they rented one of her houses. And they were just like, man, she was a tough cookie, or is a tough cookie.
She just bought the ones that our players live on the square and in several apartments, and she just bought those. So we're like,
oh my
gosh, yeah,
she owns Dahlonega.
She does.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on and just kind of giving us some laughs and some stories, and I look forward to having you on again soon.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.